So sadhana. Welcome,
Sadhana.
Dr. Kartar Singh Khalsa. DOM is behind your name. Can you explain your
Sure.
name and
Yeah.
this?
Actually, my name, Kartar, means the doer. And the lesson in spiritual names for me is the doer is to learn how to be and get everything done.
Okay.
So you can either get exhausted doing things or you can learn how to hold the space, so to speak.
Yeah.
But the DOM, in New Mexico, they got very organized, and in some ways, New Mexico is very ancient, in some ways it's very progressive. And they they licensed doctors as Doctors of Oriental Medicine so that they could have a bigger practice and they could take insurance and were defined as physicians. And so, and in New Mexico, we had a huge clinic, and we had an MD, and we had chiropractors, and we had DOMs, and we had massage, and we had 15 treatment rooms, a very cool thing.
Yeah. So like one clinic combining all these therapists, doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a huge reputation in town. A lot of people came and saw us. I still, to this day, I live in Espanola. It's still people come up to me and, we miss your clinic, and where are you?
Yeah, and what do you offer now when they come up to you? What is your answer?
Well, right now I'm primarily doing just acupuncture, and because I've been doing acupuncture for 35 years, so I got a little bored with it, and I was traveling during COVID, and now I have a treatment room set up in my home in the master bedroom, because I had all these malas and necklaces and crystals, and there was too much energy. I was having trouble sleeping in there, so my friend was like, why don't you turn it into a treatment room?
Yeah, so now people can find you again and get their treatment from you again. Yeah. Well, that's wonderful.
Yep.
Yes. And 35 years back, did also your Kundalini Yoga journey started?
Yeah, actually I started in Boston. I have an MBA in finance, a master's in business in finance, and I was in Boston as a bank examiner, and then I went back and I was working in Virginia for some Sikhs, and then I came back and went to acupuncture school in Boston. So I made a big transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From working in the banking world, finance, to acupuncture and Kundalini Yoga.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about your early years with Kundalini Yoga?
Sure, yeah. I used to go to Kartar Singh, had a class for a long time in Harvard Square near Harvard for like 30-something years. And I just went one time and then I was hooked. I never explored any other yoga. I just went to his class and really enjoyed. He's a highly intelligent human being. And my favorite quote was, one time I was waiting for class to start, and someone said, you know, I really love the yoga, but I don't know, sometimes I struggle with all the talking. And then the other person said, you know, I love the talking, but sometimes I struggle with the yoga.
Yes. And that's
I like both.
Yes, yeah.
So he was amazing. I was very lucky. And then from him, I started to go to winter and summer solstices. And I sort of built my life around that. And then I started to teach. And then I was going to acupuncture school and I began to practice. And then Yogi Bhajan sent me to Japan for a year. So that was an interesting experience.
To learn even more, or to teach, or probably both, because we're students.
I'm not sure what his goal was, but 5 days after I got there was the Kobe earthquake, which transformed our experience completely.
So you were there in a very, well, it was harsh probably, because this just happened, but did you feel like you were there with a purpose?
It was kind of scary, you know. We ended up doing a lot of Seva.
Yes.
We were teaching yoga. You know, there's a special meditation to rebalance your I don't know if it's your electrical system from when you're in an earthquake. There's a wave that passes through everything, and so there was a camp close to where we lived, and young people were working so hard. We started teaching a lot of yoga for them, and I was doing acupuncture because they were burnt out they were serving like 300 meals twice a day.
Wow.
Because people, So that was interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And how, when you look at acupuncture and Kundalini Yoga, can you give us some examples on how this relates in our, like if we follow a weekly class, how can we relate to acupuncture?
Sure, you know, all these modalities, they're just about moving energy. So what I liked about Kundalini Yoga was you get to be in charge. You can go to a yoga class and there's a teacher, and that's helpful. And eventually you get to learn, oh, I can get a book and I can do some on my own, and I can go to a class and I can, you know, it's about how can I manage myself internally. You know, how can I do yoga to strengthen my physical body and so I can sit and meditate, and how can I meditate and reconnect to whatever source is. And so I really like that combination. And then acupuncture is, I'm asking you questions and I'm feeling your pulse and looking at your tongue, and then I'm choosing points, and so they're just variations on a theme.
Yes, yeah. Do you have more variations on this theme in regards to Kundalini Yoga? Because we have the word yoga in Kundalini Yoga, but it's not just a practice on the mat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, living in the ashram was amazing. There was about 400 people that were living in Espanola when I first got there, and it was, we were talking earlier about how it was like a multi-generational, you know, you could go to a meditation and there would be children and grandparents and parents, and everybody was together. It wasn't like more, I found in some aspects of my life it was more stratified. I had friends my age and we were doing things together, but the ashram was a little bit more global. Plus we had a lot of international people coming for solstices and other events, which was really powerful.
Yeah, but the world has changed between then and now, but is it still a place where we can visit, where we can go as an ashram?
Yeah, there's still some magic there. There's still some things that are going on. They have an evening meditation that they've been running for quite a while. Every night they do riras, which is an evening prayer, and then they do a meditation and they serve dinner. 7 days a week for a long time. It's amazing.
Yeah. And talking about food, about dinner, how does your work relate to food and nourishing the body?
Sure. Like when I was working in Boston, I met a friend and he had a practice on a small island called Nantucket off Cape Cod outside of Boston, about 30 miles out in the ocean. And he was working there and he was leaving, and so he was teaching Kundalini Yoga and he was practicing acupuncture, and he was also doing cleansing and detoxing. So we made an arrangement so he could still come and that I could start making a practice there. And he taught me a lot about cleansing and detoxing, and he taught me a lot about food. And I really started to realize how powerful food is medicine. And cleansing and detoxing became a big part of my life. And combining it with Kundalini Yoga and acupuncture. And I liked creating the synergy of these things, of different modalities, healing modalities from Western to Eastern, and combining food and, you know.
Yeah, so when I hear the word detox, I think it's very relevant now. It's a word we all know. But what's your take on detox, and how would you think it's, who should do it, and why should we do it now?
It's a really good question, and it's a little bit complicated, but maybe not so much. It's just we all have habits, and really yoga and meditation, all these things, changing food, it's all about how do I manage my habits. I have a habit that I eat the same thing every day, or I drink coffee every day, and it's the beginning of witnessing the choices that I'm making and the effects that it has on my physical body and my mental and emotional and spiritual. So as long as there's motivation there's a lot of things that you can do. And I've run a couple thousand people through cleansing and detoxing, and it's powerful medicine. And people nowadays are hungry for change. but they don't always know what that change is. They don't know where to start. And a yoga class can be a start. An acupuncture treatment can be a start. A cleanse can be a start of opening ourselves up to things that we actually already know, but we're just getting reminded again.
To start changing those habits from a very basic daily life position. You can already start like today. Yeah.
40 days to make or break a habit.
Yeah, 40 days, yes. Yeah, the magic number to break a
Magic
habit.
number.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been used throughout history.
And how does this reflect on your own life or in the past? How did
Well,
it
you know
change you?
what's happening, like, I think the real question is, so what am I going through now, having been through so much? And the most recent, I committed to a really solid sadhana, which is a daily practice for 1,000 days. I think I'm at 600. It was a little bit difficult flying from the US to here and deciding, okay.
What is a day?
Yeah, like, okay. I did my sadhana at like 10 p.m. and then did it again the next morning. Yeah. Anyway, you know, a lot of it's about recommitting to my, even though I've meditated, I've done a lot of things, recommitment to my internal discipline of my daily practice. Because however you choose to define this reality, we came from somewhere and we're going back probably to the same place. And how can we connect with that place on a daily basis? Yeah. And so sadhana is one of them, daily practice. And it's been very powerful for me. But it's kind of created a cocoon. And normally I'm very outgoing. Like being here, if I could talk for a minute about the European solstice,
yes,
is like reawakened me. You know, I've seen 50, almost 60 people with acupuncture this week, and I'll see more. And then we're working in a first aid station, and we have all kinds of different healers, doctor, nurse, energetics, acupuncture, osteopathy. And so for me, my journey has been coming internal and really doing some work. And actually, Nam Rasayan, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's Gurudev developed it from Yogi Bhajan and then Sri Simran, who's actually running the Tantric. Last year at Solstice, I went to her class and I'm like, because I was sort of praying for a new modality or something. I didn't know what it was. And then I went and I met her and I was like, this is it. And I thought Nam Rasayan was something external, and what I found out it is about internal work. It's all about me processing my stuff in order to get clearer to become a better healer. Yeah. So it's a long-winded answer, but yeah, a lot of magic is happening. And right now I kind of feel like I'm in the egg, you know, with the shell, and I'm just like starting to tap on the shell and see what's like, okay, what's out there? What's going to happen next?
Yeah, with those 600 days in your pocket.
Yeah, 400 to go.
Yes. What? Over
keep
halfway.
Up, keep up.
Yeah. Do you have a tip, some advice for people how they can start their daily practice, or how they can choose one?
One of the problems that we do as human beings is we present a problem, then we make it too big. You know, we're our own worst enemy, and it's never as complicated as we make it. And worry and fear have never changed anything. So slow and steady wins the race. Even if you just do 3 minutes of something, contemplation, walking, breathing, pranayama, you know.
Anything with a deep focus?
Yeah, it's just, you know, Yogi Bhajan said you have to start and the pressure is off. And so you have to just do something simple, even helping another person. You know, so once you break the ice of starting and you're like, well, this isn't that hard. What was I thinking? Mm-hmm. And then resources start to come in, maybe a person, maybe a book, maybe a YouTube video, something will come. And you can ask for it. You know, one of the things that I really learned from Yogi Bhajan was, it's okay to ask. Please reveal to me, like, what do I need to learn next? Where do I need to go? What, you know, I want to understand why this is happening in my life. We can ask that question, you know, like, share with me, show me, like, don't make it mysterious, you know?
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I think it's a challenge for many people to realize that we can ask. Yeah. It's a spiritual practice.
Yeah.
To be able to ask, to open up, to not know. Yeah.
And we're all hungry for connection.
Yeah.
We all have a desire to, even though we may not be aware of it all the time, we have a desire to change. We have a desire to grow. Yeah. We want, you know, I had a friend of mine and he was joking around. He said, I need more data. Give me some data.
Yes, give me data.
That's people want, like, give me some information. Like, teach me. What do how do you do yoga? What is yoga? How do I cleanse? What does that mean even? You know?
Can you share a moment, a memory, when you experienced this all came together, or you experienced?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this thing. So I mentioned there was a man, his name was Robert Abatello, and I met him in Nantucket, and we began to work together. And so we were running a cleanse on this island, and we, like, it's a small, in the wintertime it's small, and we had 40 people do a cleanse together. Okay, and we offered daily yoga classes, and we offered 2 acupuncture treatments for a 10-day cleanse. And then when it ended, there was like 30 people that missed the first one or wanted to do it again. And it was so powerful for me and the people. And they're like, okay, they came to us and they said, we want a daily yoga class, and they set it up, and then we just showed up and taught it. And we want more, you know, acupuncture, and we want to learn more about cleansing and detoxing. And I was like, whoa, this is very powerful. Like we like unleashed a tiger or something, you know. It was like something happened, and I wasn't used to that, and I was very intrigued and inspired by that.
Yeah.
That was a moment. Yeah. That was a big moment for me of like, okay, yeah, this makes sense to me. I like this. I want to do more of this.
So, and you've been very successful with the institute and with the acupuncture and bringing people together, bringing different modalities together. So, if you're a yoga teacher, a Kundalini yoga teacher, and you're listening now, what can you give them for advice to help them grow and reach out to more people?
Well, what I found is, so we had a yoga center. We built a yoga center in our house. We had a big porch, like 5 meters by like 13 meters, big. And we converted the porch into a yoga center. And if you're a Kundalini yoga teacher and you're teaching yoga, it's kind of two-dimensional. And then at a yoga center, if you say, hey, we're gonna do like a week-long cleanse, or we're gonna do a week-long fast, or we're gonna do juices or something, it starts to make it more three-dimensional, because now people are interacting, and they're not just showing up for a class and saying, hey, Susie, how you doing? I'll see you next week. You know, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm learning some new things, I'm changing. So there's always the opportunity to start taking things to another level. You know, like they may even do like teacher's training or a level 2, or there's always that opportunity to start going to a new place.
Be creative in your offering, and to reach people beyond the weekly classes. Yeah, they might want to learn more. This is what I hear you saying.
Sure.
Yes.
Because one of my specialties is pulling out of people, like, you know, they may be like working in computers, but maybe they're really a healer. Yeah. Like, okay, what is it that you want to do? What would you be good at? You know, Kundalini Yoga opens the door to more opportunity of expression, spiritual expression of who am I? What do I want to manifest in this world? How do I want to give back? Yeah, so it's nice to open that door. Yeah,
it's a big door with big questions.
My specialty.
Yes, to research them, to answer them.
And support them.
Support them, yes. Yeah.
Because people want to make change and they don't know where to start.
No.
And it's not that complicated.
And what's your experience, and what is for many people where this journey starts? What's often the first step that you've noticed?
Well, for me, my first step was just to go to a class.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, there's a whole new world here. Because he had a very busy class. Kartar Singh, there was like 30 to 50 people there every time. That had, it creates a lot of energy. But
it's start and the pressure will be off.
Yeah,
I hear
exactly.
This is a theme for our talk, I
know.
think, yes.
And my favorite one of all is there's a way through every block.
Yes, yeah.
So even though you perceive that there's some block, that usually not really, and just seeking out help is enough to move through it.
I heard some beautiful advice. Oh, this
Oops.
is the microphone.
Yeah, I hope I'm just leaving it.
You can leave it. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. And how do you? One last question.
Sure.
How do you see the future of this wonderful technology of Kundalini Yoga?
Well, we have some amazing assets. We have Kundalini Yoga, we have White Tantric Yoga, which is a specialized form of yoga. And we have Nam Rasayan, which is a specialized kind of healing through meditation. And there used to be a charismatic teacher or teachers that taught a lot of people. But nowadays it's changing, and how do we reach people through social media and other venues to share this information? Because again, people are hungry, they may be alone in their home watching TV, and it's like, how do we reach them? Do we YouTube video, a class? We have to be more creative in how we reach out and share, which is really a technology, which is really the way I like to define this stuff. How do I affect my glandular system and my nervous system and initiate change? And the young people know how to do that. And
they switch more easily than you and me.
I know,
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I have a cleanse program that I do, and I've been talking to like a young Punjabi man he's like, oh yeah, we can do that. We'll create an app. And I'm like, what?
Yes, yeah.
I'm not I never thought of it like doing it as an app.
Yeah, and we'll do a podcast. We do an
I
interview.
know.
This is part of it, part of the package as
I
well.
said, well, can we figure out how to sell 10 cleanses a week? He goes, oh yeah, that's no problem.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I really appreciate you guys taking some time for me.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to add while we're still recording?
If you ever need anything, feel free to contact me.
Yes.
You can always find me, Dr. Kartar. I have drkartar.com, Whole Self Recovery, thecleanse.com. Call me. We'll talk.
Yeah. And we first start with our daily practice and and start a little fast, and the things you can do from your home. Find a class.
Find an ashram.
Get into action.
Find a friend, somebody. Yeah. They teach Kundalini Yoga all around the world.
Yeah.
There's somebody close by, even though you didn't know it.
Yeah. Yeah. Sadnam.
Sadnam.
Waheguru.
Waheguru.